Monday afternoon. Welcome to the House of Fun. It's time for us to rock and roll. This is where we create magic between 4 and 5, everybody.
Natuurlijk, hierdie is Ekse, ons is die grootste jeugshow in die land en maak verseker dat jy gaan haal jou ma, jou pa, jou oupa, jou ouma, jou adopted cousins, almal en sê vir hulle ons gaan 'n baie lekker tyd hê net hier op Ekse, Cape Town TV, die mense se kanaal. Oh man, remember to connect with us on all of our social media pages. On Facebook we're Ekse on Cape Town TV and on Twitter we're at Ekse_live. En natuurlijk het ons 'n YouTube bladsy up and running as well, so make sure you click subscribe so you can get some of your favorite episodes right on there.
Yes, you can email us to Ekse@Cape Town TV should you wish to be part of the show. Njengabantu abafikile namhlanje i-non-profit organization ebizwa by Youth Quake that is doing something incredible for isikolo in and around the Western Cape, so you do not want to miss out.
Absolutely, man. And also, just last week I actually went to Skarpkraal at a little place called Oasis, where we actually went to bid farewell to the homeless street soccer team who is representing South Africa all the way in the UK. I spoke to Dan Plato, I spoke to Andrew Murray as well as Shana Fernandez. So make sure you stick around to see what exactly our people is doing to make sure we are being represented, especially the homeless people, man.
You can follow us on Ekse_live on Twitter, on Facebook. It's Ekse on Cape Town TV. That number to dial 021-448-0448. My name is Lama Lee Moon, and he is
Rizal, the Sheriff Forbes, and we have everything for you right here, man.
Later on, I'm going to Science Sports Institute Yalap in South Africa,
okay.
where we're going to be talking about Caster Semenya and what EIWA is trying to do. Buffalo injector with some hormones.
But I mean, they've been trying to do it for years. Like, can you not just leave her alone?
Yeah, Dr. Zondo is going to be telling me that whether it's going to work out, how she feels, which corner she is, which corner are you out? Hashtag Excel, let us know. Keep it locked right here on channel 263. It is the Monday afternoon. We've got all that and more, including trending news that are coming up next. Thank you for tuning to the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland. Right now, it's time for some trending news. So, indaba zokuqala, world's the talk of Itel of Iprasa. Oh, these guys are in trouble.
Hey.
You know what Prasa is?
The Railway Something Association.
There you go. So the news goes like, the company that won a 3.5 billion tender from the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, PRASA, is the proof that the ANC have hit rock bottom. When the ANC took over the country's railway infrastructure, it quickly became a looting ground for chronic, and both PRASA and Transnet are now limping along to the graveyard. The passengers are now concerned because this matter is affecting their everyday life. And in Cape Town last week, Friday, all trains were cancelled, and that left passengers stranded. The service of this organization is getting worse day by day.
Yes,
so
man.
you don't look at the screen and see how people are traveling. It's very dangerous. People are going to school, they're going to work, they're traveling home, and they are subjected to those conditions.
And I think it's a very sad thing because taking train is some of the people's daily means of transportation, whether it's to get to work, to get that bread and butter going, or to school, man. So, and I mean, this has been going on for quite some time as well.
And
so,
the tickets are taking on a hike while conditions are not.
Exactly.
Security as well, safety as well. So
yes, man, it's really sad. And moving on to more sad news, something that saddened the whole of South Africa actually is that Senzo Mahiwa's father actually passed on this morning. Now, it is with great sadness that Uncle Sam, who we all known as the late Senzo Mahiwa's father, has passed on this morning. However, the family is currently preparing for a statement to be released shortly. Now, Samuel Mahiwa died in his home at Umlazi in Durban and has been in and out of hospital since August. He actually then passed on from a stroke. Now, the most painful part is that the man died without justice being served to his late son, Senzo Mahiwa. We do want to wish his whole family, the whole Mahiwa family, condolences from us at Ekse on Cape Town TV to everyone, and obviously we hope that this pain is being eased and being lightened for the coming days.
I can't imagine what the family is going through because they lost a brother, a father, a son, and there is no justice, no answers were given to them, and now he was one of those people that was on the forefront trying to find out what happened to his son.
Exactly.
And to date, we still do not know, whereas there were 5 to 6 people present while his son was
Yes,
being.
and that is something that happens on a daily in South Africa.
Yeah.
People have to suffer.
Moving on to other sad news, well, South African singer Lyra and her husband of 9 years, Urol, have parted ways. They have issued a joint statement announcing that they were no longer singing from the same hymn book. To all the beloved fans, she tells them, friends, family, and the business associate, it is with great regret and sadness that we announce the separation. So these two are currently living apart, and they are in the process of deciding the future for their marriage. Well, she first sang us,
but listen, have you seen that this is something that's happening in South Africa? It's a trend. All our celebs is moving on to Skyville, to Divorceville. Like, what's happening? Like, that is why I'm actually not in a relationship, because I don't want to fall in that boat very soon.
Because nobody wants to get married to you.
Ah.
Would you like to get married to this person?
Let's take another break so I can breathe and we can talk about that. We'll be right back.
Redefine, redesign education, entertainment, and information every day of the week. So make sure that you tell a friend ukuthi asifikanga sikalelekile. Between 4 and 5, this is Ekse Live. My name is Lama. My co-host is Wizard. Thank you for choosing us as your source of entertainment. It is the Monday. Should you know of anybody who's doing something incredible with community, or it could be yourself, well, you can email us ekse@capetowntv.org so that we do profile you, so that we let the great community of Cape Town as well as the nation at large what you're doing. And perhaps you could have the assistant from stakeholders or people that need the kind of services that you offer. They can get in touch with you through Ekse. Hey, now it is a Monday afternoon. It might be chilly outside, but this is where it's hot. This is where it's happening. This is where it's hectic 9 million times. Well, joining us, did you feel that, Quake? It's the Youth Quake.
Yes, man. And most of the times you are looking for an organization who's here to shake up the industry of organizations and do things for our youth. And speaking about shaking up, they're shaking up and rocking up on our yellow kites right here at the Ekse headquarters in Observatory, Cape Town. And they go by the name of Youth Quake. And they're here to tell us more about the organization and what it is that they do. I honestly thought they go to youth and shake them and things like that. But you guys are obviously going to let us know what it's about. And I want to know exactly what it is that you guys do. Because, like I said again, when I heard the name Youth Quake, I was like, something is coming, Baba.
What is it?
Yes, if I may start. Well, the Youth Quake, as the name says it, we do shake the young people.
Oh, okay. In a good way, though.
Yeah, in a good yeah. But we're an organization that was born out of a need to address social or socio-economic and other challenges that are affecting the youth.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what it's basically about.
What's your involvement? What do you guys do on a daily?
Oh, currently we are having a tour. Where we go to young people, like in high schools, where we do our career exhibition. We collect our young professionals, people from different fields. So currently, I think what brings us here is because we go to these, we are in Gryfontein, where we go to. Last Saturday, we were in one of the high schools, where 2 schools were in one center, and then we did like a stage kind of a thing, where we show also what are the challenges that they come across in universities and in workplaces. And it's actually one that needs to decide of what is it that I want in life. So and until we go to career exhibition, people will ask questions to the people that they see more than anything.
Yes, and is that part of the, because I know you guys have a adopt a school program, so is that part of that, and how did that actually start?
Oh yeah, when it comes to adopt a school, as we are in South Africa, most of the universities, so we thought the need starts from the high schools, from grade 12. So we adopt a school in the area where we can give out like whatever we have. It's like mentorship and also tutoring. So that's the part of adopted schools. We adopt that school and we see the challenges in that school, and then we try where we can
That is so awesome.
How do you choose a school that you get to adopt?
Do it need to be a yellow school, a brown school, a big school, a small school?
Yeah, we can adopt any school, especially the schools that are close to the varsity that we are recognized to.
Yes.
For instance, we are recognized at CPUT, Pentec. So the closest school for now is Wallaston or Kraaifontein School. So we are basically there.
Awesomeness. And every day, you know, during a child's life, especially in this time of today in South Africa, we know that children are exposed so many times to violence and abuse, whether it's happening at home, in the community, in the area. And I want to know, how does your program kind of bridge that gap and let children know, look, this is okay and this is how you deal with it, or this is not okay rather?
Okay. Well, in that regard, well, we are of the view that the students in townships, well, they are bound to suffer a lot of a great deal of influence from their surroundings.
Yes.
Now, what we do is we go to those areas. We do have activities. We do have campaigns and projects that we do for them.
Yes.
Like encouraging them to say this is how one has to live.
Yes.
But this starts here in the schools, because that's where they converge, and we get to an opportunity to speak to them together in that setup. So, well, we do have those programs, but what is important mostly is that we don't only speak to them, but we also model it.
Okay.
Like, we go to speak to them in schools, and when they see us in those communities,
Yes.
they see us living right, abstaining from alcohol and drugs and all those. So,
Yes.
yeah, we're so much concerned with that.
And I feel like that is so important, because most of the time, Lama, we're going out and we're preaching and we're saying, don't do this, do this, but we're not doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think
Not
that is amazing.
walking the talk. So Itoyenu speaks of unlocking opportunities for the young individuals.
Yes.
How are you doing that as Youth Quake?
The name of the tour is Don't Settle for Less, which the tour started at the Alfred Nzo municipality in the Eastern Cape. So as the Youth Quake Western Cape, we have felt as a need that we must start this initiative in
Yes.
the Western Cape, because there is a big need in our schools that we have adopted.
Yes.
So basically now we are in Kraaifontein, Wallaston, and then next week we'll be in Blokombos and Masbambane High School. So the play itself shows these challenges that they face at school and the challenges that they will face at the varsity.
Yes.
So we are trying to show how the varsity lifestyle to them.
Yes.
And then we interact with them, and then we do the career expo.
Yes. And is there any way that you guys actually take them physically to the universities and things like that? Because I know for me, when I was in high school, everyone comes and they give you this idea of what it's about. But you never really get to know the field until you're there. And also, is there any programs where you guys, almost like an internship, where you're saying, okay, this is what you can expect there if you're doing this and that?
What is happening is you also have something like taking a child to workplace, to a workplace.
Okay.
Yeah, and also we are always with them. Like we're saying that we've adopted that school. There's open days most in
Yes,
universities.
yes.
So we also go there with them. And of course, in almost every university, there are students from us.
Yes.
And then now we take them through the school open day, and also if we're talking about the taking a child to a workplace, we also take them through. So we are also open when it comes to anything that, as you're asking these questions, like when we see a challenge or a gap, we are open to actually do something new. But these are the things that we are currently doing and we've seen as a need.
Wow.
Yeah, and also to add, if I may, when this tour is very broad. Like when we're there, we don't only speak to them, like give them also only the varsity experience.
Yes.
But you also bring in some people, like some health people.
Yes.
People who go there, like, and tell them real life experiences
Yes.
of saying this is what you'll get when you do this,
Yes.
and when you live like this. And also at back in the Eastern Cape, would also like have some sitters going there to say if you want to maybe go pursue business or what, this is how we can help.
Yes.
And also this sitter helps you in this way. So we basically look into different spheres of,
Yes.
of their
Yes.
lives.
And I mean, you guys do so many things helping the youth, shaking the youth, the youth Quake, sitting down with them right now, finding out what it is that they do. I want to know on a daily, because obviously doing all of these things, it's not easy. You don't just wake up and it's easy. So how challenging is that for you guys as people? And how have working with these youth actually benefited or impacted your lives as individuals?
Sure, I don't know what to say because it's so touching. For example, we were currently in like during June holidays, we were in Eastern Cape, and it just on the part of what is it that is doing in our lives, I realized that we are, some of us are privileged because
Yes.
as we are in this organization, we have more information.
Yes.
I realized that these young people from Eastern Cape, they don't even know how to create an email.
Wow.
And it was so touching and it was blessing. I was like, we should do these things. Like as a result, some of them we
Yes.
keep contact and we create for them emails. We give them like on an everyday
Yes.
basis. So we connect with them every day. For example, the school that we were in on Saturday, some students gave us their numbers so that we can contact
Wow,
them, so that we
man.
can continue with a registration online,
Yes.
application
Yes.
online. So we do it every day. Everything that we can do, we try by all means.
So what does one do to get their school adopted by Youth Quake? Because you're saying that you adopt schools that are affiliated with you, in terms of your universities that are closest to Youth Quake. Let's say my school is not close to you guys, but I would love your services because we need help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, for example, now we are in Cape Town. So as we are in Cape Town, if a school has having a need, they can contact us, and we usually meet with the school and say what we have.
Sure.
For example, we don't want to go to a school and say we have all the answers, whereas we know that it's not everything that we have. So we see the need of the school.
Wow.
So we also, because we have people from different locations,
Wow.
so we usually work around that.
Okay, before we let you go, how do they get in contact with you?
On Facebook, we are Youth Quake SA. Yes, you just get us there, and then on
Awesome.
email, it's youthquake@benningbush.co.za.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through the show. You're doing awesome, guys. Keep on keeping on because a lot of people need you. This music video right here is done by Mbenyula Media, and if you wish your music video to be featured on the show, you can email Ekse at Cape Town TV. Who knows? Your music video could make the top 3. Well, this was part 1. We've got part 2 coming through on Friday. You do not want to miss it. But right now, speaking of music videos, this one comes from, what's his name? It's a guy from the soil. It's Isabel. Enjoy. Wow, man. Speaking of beautiful music videos, who was that?
That wasn't Tika.
Yeah, I told you. I'm saying Sabela, he's from the soil. He just took a brief break so that he can do his solo career. Another person who's doing a solo career beautifully so.
Rikla. Yes, and this one's actually titled The Truth. And in the music video, we actually aired it for the first time on Friday, this past Friday. And yeah, man, I looked at the music video. Even Mpo was here.
Mpo Pops.
Pops, yeah. And it was like, who's this guy? And we were like, this is our director, man.
Yeah.
And he's actually behind the camera. You guys can't see him, but he's there. And I just want to speak about the music video because there's so much truth in it, so much things that he tackles of what we as South Africans go through on a daily, whether it's be the homeless crisis, whether it's be political and everything. And that's why I love this music video. And I'm excited for part 2, yeah?
Yeah, it's coming on Friday, coming next, so make sure that you do not miss that out. But if you have not seen part 1, you can hop onto our Facebook.
What's that?
Hi, man. Ekse on Cape Town TV. That's where you can view it. It's trending, guys.
It
People
is
are
trending.
loving it,
Our
and
director
it's
said we
very
should go
deep, bro.
to ad break because he wants to
doesn't want-
celebrate. Yes?
Okay, cool
Okay.
stuff. When
cool.
you come back, we're doing more homeless things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. it's Ekse_live on Twitter, on Facebook, Ekse, on Cape Town TV. Between 4 and 5, we bring you nothing but the best in entertainment, information, as well as education. Hello, I'm Lama Moon.
Yes, and I'm Rizal Forbes, and obviously if you are Ekse-less, all you have to do is to tune in Monday to Friday, 4 till 5 p.m, where we bring you the best dish of entertainment and education right here for a full hour. And like Lama said, we always hectic 9 million times better than any other show in the country. En ons bring vir jou die waarheid. Dis wat ons hier doen.
Waarheid.
En praat van die waarheid, ons weet dat daar's 'n klomp mense wat op die pad te slaap. And this is something that has been going on for, well, forever nearly. And only recently the city of Cape Town decided that, well, okay, we're gonna fine you for sleeping on the streets.
How much?
I don't know. I don't know how much it is, but I almost got the letter from them. I was like, no, I'm just tying my shoe. They're like, yeah, you're being fine. But something that's amazing is the fact that we actually went to Scarpkraal, where we went to send off the Homeless Street Soccer World Cup team representing South Africa. Now listen, they are going to play in Cardiff, where they'll be representing South Africa as the Homeless Street Soccer Team 2019. And we spoke to the Mayor of Cape Town, Dan Plato, and also Ministers Andrew Murray and Shana Fernandez, and they were all there to bid farewell to the team, as well as Ekse and other media teams. And obviously we want you at home to see what these people are doing that we want to find.
Well, if they win, or maybe they don't win, they fly them over to play on the World Cup. When they come back home, are they going to send them back to the street?
Well, that is something you have to find out. Look at this.
Wow.
What's up, Exonators? It's Rizal Forbes here. Today we're at a place called Oasis in Scarpkraal, my hometown actually, and we're bidding farewell to the South African Homeless Street Soccer Team. We're sitting down and talking to Mayor Dan Plato, as well as the Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sports, Andrew Murray, and also Minister of Social Development, Shana Fernandez. We're also speaking to Clifford Martinez, who's the organizer of everything, and also the director at Oasis. We're also sitting down, speaking to soccer players, finding out how they're actually feeling for their journey coming. So let's go and see what's happening. Look who I bumped into, and I always bump into you, and you're looking always amazing. This time we're in red for hot. I'm standing with the Minister of Cultural Affairs and Sport, Mrs. Andrew Murray. How are you doing?
I'm so well, thank you so much.
Awesomeness, awesomeness. Now we are here to bid farewell to the SA Homeless Street Soccer Team, and I heard you mention that it is important for people to change their situations and not also let the negativity around them influence them.
I think, homelessness, as Cliffy said earlier tonight, it's not because you don't have a home. Some of them do have a home, they just live on the streets and they don't have work, they're unemployed, and stuff just went wrong in their lives. And for me, we need to support everyone that's homeless, everyone that have a problem situation, because that's what the government is for.
Awesome, guys. I'm standing now with the Mayor, Mr. Dan Plato, and I just want to get his take on the Homeless Soccer World Cup and also the importance of actually supporting the team, especially with the issue in Cape Town that we know there's so much homeless people right now, and how important is it for us as Cape Townians actually to support the homeless people and even support such an initiative for the youth?
Very important. Absolutely a magnificent feeling tonight. One can feel the vibe in the hall. Everybody like what is going on, supporting the team. And that is what it is all about. Regardless if you're a homeless person, you can reach to the stars. You don't need to stay who you are, what you are, where you are, and you can uplift yourself out of your circumstances. It's exactly what the youngsters have said. The captain and the vice captain have said it tonight.
Awesome stuff, guys. I'm standing now with the captain Sibusiso and the vice captain Lucky, and they are heading off to Cardiff in England. And I just want to find out by them how excited they actually are for this journey coming. So, Miss Issa, tell me, how excited are you? Because I know if I'm going to England, I would have been over the moon. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very excited because where I come from, there were less opportunities compared to the cities. So I'm taking this with both hands, and it's working for me.
Yeah.
It's my first time to Wales, so actually it's my first time to go on overseas.
Yeah.
So you can figure how happy I am. So I'm happy very much.
Of course, of course. And I want to know from you, Lucky, who's actually the vice captain. Tell me, in terms of preparation, the training and everything like that, how is that going? Because, I mean, you're flying to England, you're taking part of the World Cup there. How's the training and the preparation actually coming along for you guys?
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank this platform that I have now, guys. Okay, the training was very hard for us. And then what I've learned, something, it can be hard, but you'll never give up because you won't gain anything. But if you lean on something, you will gain something at the end of the day. But the training was very, very hard, but we're still here, which means we won.
Awesomeness. And I want to know from you, you're the captain. Tell me about the team. Do you think the team is good enough to go over there and take the trophy? Or how are you feeling a bit skeptical, still things to work on? Tell me about the team.
According to me, everyone on that team is a captain.
Okay.
Because they have qualities of being a captain. I have so much belief in them. Like we are trusting each other, everything about each other, we're motivating each other. A ship that has so many leaders doesn't sink. So I believe so much in them.
True. Wow, a ship that have a lot of leaders does not sink. I love that. Listen, man, we came, we saw, and we definitely conquered. And I want to wish from myself and the whole Ekse team, for these people, a good journey and well fortune. And may you bring home that trophy for us so we can brag about you. Signing up.
Yes, this is the ship that has many leaders. That's why we won't sink
I love
anytime
that.
soon. Yeah.
I love that.
We're excited very much. Right?
Yeah.
No? Well, somebody sent us a message, and this comes from with Yellow Angel Ingelusi. Shout out to Cape Town TV for playing our Voodoo World music video for the first time on TV. Not only for airing it though, the video made #1 spot this week on CTV.
Yes.
Thank you, God, for always showing the right way. Well, God can only show you a right way when you submit your music videos to Brandon@capetowntv.org, or if you want it to feature on the top 3, to Lama@capetowntv.org. Call us 021 448 0448.
Yes, man, and obviously make sure you connect with us on all of our socials. On Facebook, we are Ekse and Cape Town TV, and on Twitter, we are @Ekse_live. And also, I don't know if you've been watching, we've been playing our YouTube clips, and if you want to catch some of your favorite Ekse episodes, all you have to do is subscribe onto our YouTube channel, and you can catch everything on there. Monday to Friday, 4 till 5 p.m. This is Ekse.
But of course, and later on, we're talking Caster Semenya and what the AWAF is trying to do. Well, if you want to learn more, keep it locked right here. We'll be back right after this commercial break. Woosa! Welcome back from the ad break. You're still watching the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland. We go by the name of Ekse Live. You can follow us on Twitter, it's Ekse_live. On Facebook, it's Ekse. On Cape Town TV, it is a Monday afternoon. Joining me right now, good Dr. Potokuhle Zondi, all up again, Science Sports Institute of South Africa. Now, Doctor, first things first, Sayazi about Ukasta and what is happening with her. I just want to find out, what is the involvement in Institute Yako with the whole debacle?
So formally, we weren't involved with the whole debacle. We have a very firm position on it as an institute, in that we do believe that we should interrogate this and ensure that whatever regulation is implemented is fair and just for athletes and for the sport. But certainly the involvement of the Institute has not been beyond taking a stand. I have been involved in my capacity as a sports physician, medical doctor, chair of SASCOC, and I was involved in the medical team that informed the case for the Athletic South Africa case that went to court.
For people that are watching right now and they do not know what's happening, what is going on?
So the crux of the issue is that the IAAF have released a regulation that essentially informs the eligibility of females to participate in sport. So they have essentially redefined the rules of engagement for female athletes, but specifically female athletes that have got what we call differences of sexual development.
So what does this mean for your future generation if they pass, if they win? Because baninzi abantu that are looking up to Caster and one day they want to be gold medalist. What does it mean for them?
Yeah, ubalulekile lo mbuzo wakho, because there definitely are implications, not just for athletics, even though this is something that was undertaken by the International Athletics Association. So in other words, just for athletics, the reality is there are implications for all of sports, because all of the other sporting codes are looking to see how this turns out, and in all likelihood, they will follow the direction or the lead, depending on how this transpires, once it's reached the ultimate court of law. And the implications really would be that athletes that have got DSDs would be affected by this, which means either they have to take medication if the rule is passed that lowers their testosterone level and then they can participate, or they must opt out of the sport, and specifically the categories of the events that are mentioned.
Speaking of DSDs, Ekse understands that kuthiwa Caster must take contraceptives daily, and then we call a monthly injection that is going to lower her testosterone. Anti-doping ke ngoku to me, I don't know about anybody else. Ingati kuko double standard here.
And this is the talk that's going around a lot when people speculate about it. Just to be clear, the medication that is suggested to be used is not prohibited. So it's not on the anti-doping rule. So that must just be very made clear. It's the combined oral contraception. Many women use it every single day. The issue really relates to the fact that clinically, does she really have a medical condition that warrants the use of medication? When clinically, it's not like she's come to the doctor saying, I've got this, and this problem, and therefore I need medication for these symptoms. So that's the sort of the issue here. And then, of course, there's the real issue of Vuguti. Anytime a woman takes any medication, there's a side effect profile. And as a prescribing doctor, you always say, if I'm going to give you medication, I need to weigh up the benefits and the risks. In other words, what's the actual clinical condition, the medical problem that you've come with, and is it worth being exposed to the side effects, whether they're small or whether they're big?
Okay. How is it fair for Caster to compete with other women that do not have the same testosterone as she does?
And that's the crux of the debate here, the crux of the performance science, exercise physiology, even clinical medicine debate that we're having, is we are trying to unpack, and it's a really complex issue. So that's the first thing that we must acknowledge. This is not something that's simple. So those people who just say, it's a simple issue and this must be the answer, then they're wrong. This is complex and it's layered. And that's really why there's been so many versions of the regulation. It's been so complex, why it's all the way at the CAS court. So the issue really is, what we're trying to unpack is, what is the extent of advantage of the testosterone levels? So there might be some advantage, but what is the extent, and does it warrant the magnitude of regulation and intervention that's been proposed? And this is, quite frankly, the core topic that's still being debated. This is why it went to CAS to start with. This is why it's now been elevated to the Swiss Tribunal Court, because it's in trying to unpack and get an answer that is fair in terms of clinical science, exercise physiology, sports performance, but also just in terms of human rights.
Is it safe to assume that you are on Caster's corner?
Oh, very safe.
Why?
Because I feel quite strongly on the clinical, scientific, and also human rights aspects of this. And the clinical ones being, first and foremost, I'm a doctor, I'm a medical doctor, and so the issue that I raised before about exposing somebody to potential harms from medication when they have no apparent clinical condition. So in other words, this is not a patient that's coming to me saying, I have a problem, therefore, please can you help me solve the problem? This is a federation and organization saying, you have a problem, therefore you must take medication. So for me, just personally, and it's a personal thing, I am not comfortable with that. And then exposing somebody to side effect profile. And we know that there's side effects. Even though many people use it, there's still side effects for this medication. And then the second one just really relates to human rights. And that's a conversation that I continually play back in my head to say, sport is a microcosm of society. What happens in sport, you must be able to extrapolate and apply in the broader society. And we must be very mindful of the rules of engagement within sport, because sport is not isolated. And so there's repercussions and implications to the broader society, just in terms of human rights, equality, fairness, and those aspects. And then with the regulation itself, if I'm even more specific, I do feel that acknowledging that it's a complex clinical conundrum and sports performance conundrum, they lacked depth in the regulation when it came to even implementation. And again, as a sports physician, those are the issues that I would deal with. All right, now we've made this diagnosis. What then happens to the athletes? What about the communities that they come from? X, Y, Z, A, B, C. What about life after sports, life during sports? And I don't think that the regulation properly delved into that and unpacked it. And therefore, as a clinician who services athletes, I'm not comfortable going forward and implementing that until I am satisfied with the depth and the extent of the regulation.
Is Caster the first sportsman to have EDSD engineering?
I think that's a very relevant question, because what must be emphasized, Uguti, this is not about Caster. The regulation doesn't name Caster anywhere at all. We know that she's affected because obviously, she has come forward and said so. But there are very many other athletes that are also similarly affected by this regulation.
Sure.
So the short answer is no, she's not the only athlete. There are other athletes that are affected. And that's also my position, is that this is, for me, it's about the principle and ensuring that we are robust and we are credible in the way that we approach this. Not because just one athlete is involved, but because there are other females and other athletes that are involved. And I feel a duty of care and responsibility to make sure that we are robust in the way that we approach this.
Yeah, the case is still in limbo. This means she can still compete at Qatar as well as Tokyo later on. So I want to find out, gender inequality, in sports.
So right now, there's a lot of people that are sitting on the fence and they're waiting to see Uguti, what's going to be the outcome on this.
Yeah.
If you're asking me in general, Uguti, imenjani is sports and gender equality, we must acknowledge that we've come a long way in the world of sports in terms of female representation, both on the field or in the track or in the pool, wherever your place of participation is, and even field side. The fact that you're sitting here talking to me as the CEO of the Sports Science Institute is evidence that we are making progress in terms of representation. That said, there is still a very long way to go. There's still a very long way to go. Even if you just look at the levels of participations of female, if you look at things like the monetary reward from competitions, there are very few sports or federations where females and males are paid equally for participating in sport. Things like media rights, and it's related to media, so coverage and adverts.
Of course.
Because that's where the money comes from to pay these athletes. So there's still a very, very big gap, and we mustn't forget that. In much as we must acknowledge, celebrate, and use the platforms, we must not forget that there's a lot of work to be done in leveling the playing field and making sure that as females we are able to A, get a seat around the table, but B, use our voice and be heard when we get there.
If you were to play psychic, what do you think the outcome will be?
See, it's a difficult one because I'm biased, and so I'm hopeful that the outcome will, in the least, say, suspend the regulation until we've got enough evidence and we've engaged with the topic at the different platforms. And when I say platforms, I don't mean sport, because this affects people outside of sport. That we've engaged enough, we've given enough consideration, and therefore have used this information to inform whatever sits in a regulation, should one even be deemed necessary to exist. And so if I'm practical and honest and about it, knowing the different layers that exist behind this, my best case would really be that this be suspended until there's been more time to engage with it from a scientific level and certainly from a legal level as well. And so we suspend it, and I suspect that would mean at least a year or two of whether it's research that needs to be conducted or roundtables, task teams, whatever it is that needs to be done. I would say that's at least a year or so. And thereafter, then one needs to see what evidence is there, because as much as I feel one way, I am willing to be informed by the information that comes forward.
Because knowledge is power.
There we go.
Thank you so much for your time, Doctor.
Such a pleasure.
Ekse appreciates your knowledge.
And I appreciate Ekse.
Keep it locked right here on Ekse. People, it's time for us to bounce out of here. I'm going to hand it over to Rizat to shut down the show. The next time that we see each other, I'm hoping that we're going to talk something positive. Maybe you show me around the building, your careers and stuff.
You're welcome to come back.
How many of you have sat with the CEO of your Sports Institute? And yes, my name is Lama and I'm signing out. Thank you for tuning in to Ekse Live.
Thank you so much to you, Lama Moon, and thank you to the doctor for doing the most to make sure the story around Caster Semenia's future is finally going to be put to rest. So thank you so much. And thank you at home for tuning in to Ekse, the biggest youth show in the city of Cape Town. Thank you so much to our guests that came through, and that is the Youth Quake Foundation, for everything that they are doing. And thanks to everyone who's clicking subscribe on our YouTube channel, following us on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are Ekse on Cape Town TV, and on Twitter, we are at at Ekse_live. Listen, man, we came, we saw, and we definitely conquered. We're seeing you guys tomorrow again, same time, same place. And also on tomorrow's show, we're actually sitting down with the International Arts and Talent Showcase, and Elzeby as well as Eloise is here to tell us more about how you guys at home can actually enter and actually go to the USA. Also, we have Mrs. Ponzo Manzi, who's here from the Women's Magazine. She's here to speak more about what it is that she's doing. And also not to miss the Miss SA Top 16 finalist, and she's all the way from Nyanga. She's going to be here as well to talk about her journey and also how you guys at home can keep on supporting her. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The name of the show is Ekse. We love you. We love everyone. Make sure you keep it locked. Tomorrow, if you just tuned in, the repeat of the show is going to be 7 to 8 a.m. Same time, same place, Monday to Friday. And the name of the show is Ekse. And we're signing out. This one is Sijava, and it's titled Ikoli. We are out, we are out, we are out, man. Moon, shout out to you guys at home. Shout out to everyone. Shout out our director, Rikla, for that amazing music video titled The Truth. Hashtag Upamben. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to everyone. I'm just doing shout out. Shout out to mom, shout out to dad, shout out to Amo, what malas. Shout out to Pira, is like even to me. We're shutting off the show. This one's Java titled Egoli. We out.